Hello friends, it's Cindy Brumbaugh from CindyLeeBDesigns.com, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Today I'd like to show you a stamp-free card. Yes, this card has no stamping technically involved with it. So I'm going to show you how to make this pretty card made using our Butterfly Beauty Thinlits, this beautiful butterfly here thinlit, and some of the words from our well-written framelit dies. So we've got all those dies that say friend and love and thank you, miss you, all those happy birthday. So I'm going to show you how to make this quick and easy card. And you're probably wondering, well, this looks like a stamp, but this is a very old technique that's been around a long time. And the stamping that we're going to be doing is just using bubble wrap. So what I'm going to do is show you how I made this card. I just used basic black as my card base. I'm going to set this aside here. Just used basic black, and I cut my paper in half, and it's 11 inches by 4 1/4, and I scored it at 5 1/2, and then that gave me a portrait size card, and that opens from the bottom. And then I'm just going to be putting a piece of Whisper White on the outside and one on the inside. And that's simply just a 4-inch by 5 1/4. All the measurements, all the products, and the colors I use are underneath the video in the description. You can also see at the end of my description, it says visit my blog here. Press that link, you'll be sent to my blog, CindyLeeBDesigns.com, and you'll find additional photos and information about this card. And so what we're gonna do is run our Butterfly, what did I call that? The Butterfly Beauty Thinlit. You're gonna run this through your Big Shot and you're gonna get this beautiful die cut. Oh, I just love this. I'm so glad it's still around. And what we're gonna be doing is just cutting out our butterflies there. And then I just ran through happy birthday and friend, and I just popped those in a little baggie for us to use. Now, here's the really fun part. And like I said, this technique has been around forever, but it is a really cool technique. So you're just going to take a piece of bubble wrap, and then I like to use my little spots that I get in my paper pumpkin, and they also have them in the annual catalog now. You can get a color collection of those. So take a peek at that. And they're just easier to use on this for me, but if you don't have the spots, you can make spots out of our uninked ones and re-inkers, or you can just use a bigger ink pad and pull it across. So as you can see on this card, the colors were Daffodil, Calypso Coral, and Flirty Flamingo, but I flipped them up, changed them up a little bit. So I'm trying to decide if I want to do pink to Calypso to yellow or yellow to Calypso. I think I'm going to do the yellow first, so I'm going to use the Daffodil. So what you do is you're going to get your piece that's going to go on the outside of your card ready. But before you do that, you're just going to open up your spot and you're going to take that ink and rub it across those bubbles. Okay, and then I took my Calypso and I ran another color across. And I think I'm getting enough on there. And then I took my Flirty Flamingo and I ran across. I think that a great card to do this with also would be that new Well Done bundle, and do different blues and make it look like bubbles in the ocean. So then you're going to take your Whisper White and you're just going to lay it down onto your bubbled colored bubble, and just pray that each of the bubbles still has like bubble in it, because you might sometimes find one of the bubbles has deflated and you might not get the print, but that's where you get creative and you put a butterfly over it. So we're just going to pop that down right on the bubble tape, and then we're going to grab a piece of scratch, or in this case I'm just going to use my silicone mat and just press down my paper on those bubbles, using it kind of like a stamp, like a background stamp. So there we go. And then I'm just going to pull this up and I'm going to show you. Isn't that cool? So you're going to get a different look every single time, but you're going to have that variation, and look at the little striations in each one of those little circles. So that is going to be the outside of our card. And then for the inside of our card, I wanted to have a place to sign in the middle that didn't have the bubbles. So what I did is I just masked off. Oop, where's that other piece of white? It's inside the card here. And I just put a mask over that. So to do that, I just took a little bit of temporary adhesive that I have here. I'm going to move this out of the way a second here, and this is just a temporary adhesive I have. But of course, you know what? I used this temporary adhesive, so I'm just going to grab another one I have here, and I'm just going to put a little temporary adhesive on this mask here. Get that little boogie out of there. Just put that right in the middle of your white there. So it's masked. Oop. Well, gosh, that didn't work. Okay, let's try this again, kids. Okay. When I thought I pulled off the edge, I actually pulled the whole tape off. So there we go. Adhesive stays on the mask. And then I just put that oval right in the middle. And now that's adhered, and then we're going to be putting that down. Now the easy way to get this taken off is you can use your Stampin' Chamois, but I just happen to have a wipe here, and you can, if you can get it out of your container, you can just easily wipe off the ink. And you can use this over and over again as long as your bubbles are still cooperating with you. So I just washed off all that pretty color. Okay, and then I'm just kind of air dry this a second here. Ooh, there you go. That make you dizzy? Okay, then we're just going to do the same thing we did again. We're just going to take our one color on the bottom, and I see that it looks like this guy deflated. So let's, and that might have been my fault. So you can sometimes be able to tell that because I can see this one's flat. So let's play around here and maybe turn our bubble wrap this way, and then I'm gonna go across yellow here, and that's just what you want to do here. We my Pittsburgh girls, my Florida girls, we did a class online doing this, and sometimes you can tell when one's not, like it looks like this guy isn't, but we're gonna improvise and see if we can fix that. So now we're putting some Flirty Flamingo, so you just put your, and you can also do other sizes of bubble tape. I had this little tiny circles here, and it made these little circles here. So you can experiment with the different sizes of bubble wrap you have, but definitely wouldn't be able to use the bubble wrap that comes in your Stampin' Up! Packages. That's really big. So then we're just going to sit this down again on our bubbles, and I'm just going to take my silicone mat to protect my hands from getting inky. I'm just going to, it's not a bad time to pray a little bit too and say, please bubbles, be all inflated. And then we just have that, and then we're going to lift this up. Looks pretty good to me. And then we'll just remove our mask. There we go. And make sure my hands are actually a little dirty, so I'm going to be careful and not, let me wipe them off here a second because I got a little ink on them when I was cleaning off the ink pad there. Okay, because I want to get this temporary adhesive off here, but I don't want to start rubbing it with my finger and end up with, there we go. Okay, so that's the inside. Doesn't that look great? So let's go ahead and put that inside one in there. So I'm going to grab my Stampin' Seal, and I'm going to put the lid where I'm not going to lose it. Get it started a little bit there for me. Put a little bit in each corner. Like I said, if you're, there we go. There we go. And we're going to pop that right on the inside of the card and getting a little 1/8 inch border the whole way around. So if you look down at the bottom, it's easier to look at the bottom left and right and get a good. And if you're a little bit off up here, it's better because your eye actually looks down here, so you're going to be good. So that's the inside of our card, and then we're going to pop this one on the outside of our card. Let me get this here, so get my, there we go. Just a little bit in the corners, maybe a little bit in the middle there too. And then I'm going to put the yellow at the bottom like I have on the inside. So when I open up the card, it kind of makes sense there. Get that 1/8 inch border all around, standing on my tippy toes. Okay, so isn't that is so cool? I really think this will look great with the whale set. So the next thing we do is we just cut apart our gorgeous butterflies. And so I use this one on the inside here. So I'm just going to cut that big butterfly. And then I'm just going to kind of round this as if it was just a die cut. Okay. Almost cut my phone cord there. Okay. So we're going to pop that onto the inside of our card there. And I'm just going to pop out my little pieces that didn't come out when I die cut it. There we go. And I'm going to use a little Tombow to put this on. And just put a little bit on here, little on here, little here. And I'm going to use this mask to get a little of that off. Okay, so we just put that cool butterfly right up in the corner there. Still gives you room to write down there. And then I wanted to put happy birthday on the outside and then friend on the inside. So we may as well get into our little goodie bag here and put friend on there. So let's go ahead and get out our happy birthday friend and look in there at those two little tiny dots for the eyes. If you lose them, very easy to get put them on with a marker, and that's what we did in our other class because I did not pick through every single die cut that I sent. And so we're gonna put friend on there, and it looks like, I'm sorry guys, I'm getting my cord stuck here. It's not hanging in the right place. Okay, so we're gonna use some Tombow glue on our friend as well. Just put a little here, a little there. Okay, I see I have a couple little paper hairs there. Should have played around with that a little more before I put the glue on, because you know that's how we get the glue all over us. Okay, so I'm going to put friend right down here. I love the well-written dies. You can make so many different variations using the words that are in there. So I'll clean up all these little pieces of, and then I'm just going to put a little tiny dot of glue. Just teeny bit. Okay, come on, I can't see here. Ah, okay. And then I'm going to use my little tweezers here and grab that little dot for the eye and pop it on there. Okie dokie. So we've got friend in there. And then I'm going to use that black. Haha. See, the black is going to hit the black and it won't make a big deal here. Okay, then we're just going to put the happy birthday on. Oh, goodness gracious. Looks like my couple pieces of my die cut did not go through. So let's see here if these pieces are going to come through. Probably should have tried that. Well, actually, I was prepared because I die cut them, but lo and behold, looks like the happy did not come the whole way out. So we have birthday there, and then let's see, H. Okay, there, it looks like it's working. You know, another little trick I do is I have, if you take your paper piercing mat, which I'm not sure where my paper piercing mat is, but I do have a little piece of I'm gonna set this up here. I do have a little piece of my red rubber mat here. And if you press down into the red rubber mat or your paper piercing mat when you can't sometimes get your dies out and you're holding them up in the air and trying to poke them and you don't have, and if you do that, look how they're popping out there. And then they actually have released themselves from where the die cut was made. So now we can pull those apart. Those are those little tricks. So when we stamp at our classes, I have these red rubber mats under everybody's surface. And so whenever they're having trouble with that, I said, well, first thing before we see if we have to die cut it again is just see if it'll pop out onto that. So just pull out your paper piercing mat. And like I said, I run between the kitchen and my craft room, wherever the family is and all the actions happening is where I'm dragging stuff to. So I think I have it in my one little tote down there, because even my daughter said, are you going up there forever or are you coming back? And I said, well, I'm going to come back. I'm going to make a video. Is this a 10-minute video or a 2-hour video? I said, I think I should be able to get this done in 15 minutes until I had to fiddle around with that die. And then you can hear Archie down there. My husband must be coming in for something, so that means Archie's gonna be barking. It is a bummer that, like, the kids, well, actually my daughter's not a kid. She's, you know, gonna be 28 next week. But her nursing anesthesia school is online now. So it's a bummer that they have to do it online, but it's been nice actually having her around. She helps me with my techie stuff whenever she needs to clear her brain for a few minutes. And it's been real nice having her around and my pups around. And so here, we're going to put birthday down there. And as you can see, we have almost got this card totally done. You know what Cindy did when she cleared off? Wait, I didn't totally clear it off. I still have all my scraps. I lost my little dot for my eye. So that just goes to show you how I fix that. I'm going to use my black marker. Where's that black marker? I'll just use my journaling marker here. So what we do is we put our letters all down there, then we come back and we make our eye, and nobody knows the difference. Okay, so then we just have to cut apart the other pieces of the butterfly here. So let's do this cutie pie, and I'm going to make it so that whenever this big butterfly is cut out, it stays nice there. You just have a little bit of a creative cutting over here. There you go. And we're going to put that one up in the air there. And then it looks like I used this big one here. Well, not big, but ooh, I think that we have to cut into that big butterfly. But we can still use that big butterfly for another project. We'll just put something right over there. Maybe the sentiment will be there. And then, like I said, you just get and clean up some of those edges from where you die cut it. Until I did this card, this was actually the first time that I actually cut these butterflies apart. I always, you know, knew that was a great thing you could do with this set, but I actually had never done it. So I put the big one down here at the bottom. And it looks like I didn't get this little edge out. Yeah, all those little pieces. Okay, try to get it back right where you put the glue, Cindy. Okay, so there we've got one there. One's going to go there. I'm not going to put this one on there yet till I get this middle one. And so that middle one, where is it? Okay. Where'd that ribbon come? Oh, it's on my, on my scissors. I'm losing it, guys. I'm like, where'd that ribbon come from? It's on my scissors. Oh gosh, how many of you guys feel like it's just driving you crazy? All the different changes here. So we're gonna pop this one on here. and put some glue on there without getting it everywhere. Just a little here. Alrighty, so let's see about putting that one there and that one here. So that means we need to put a little glue on here on the bigger parts of the butterfly. This is a good class you can do with friends if you can't stamp together. You could send them a little kit. And so there you go. I have a couple little frayed black pieces. So just to jazz this card up a little bit, we're going to put some rhinestones on there. Now I used pearls on this card and rhinestones on that one. And so I actually still have some of the rhinestones that that were connected, which are really handy on butterflies because you can they're already connected. So put 2 on there. It was always when they were connected like this, I never knew what to do with them because I didn't usually put that many rhinestones in a line on a card, but then they're really great for butterflies. Perfect for butterflies. Okay, so what was supposed to be a 10-minute video, I'm sure is progressing much longer. So there we go. So super simple card using the well-written dies, just using happy birthday and friend on the inside. And we were able to use just one big die cut of butterflies, and we scattered 3 of them here and 1 on the inside. And we still have one big one left, which this could have been really pretty on there too. Like if you would have put, let's pretend this is the front of a card here. Like if you put it up there like that, that would have been pretty too. So you could have did that and then cleaned up this little piece here. But super simple, just using good old bubble tape. All you do is find some bubble tape you have, lay it down on a flat surface, and you could use your spots or your big ink pads, and you would just pull the ink across the bubbles and then lay your paper on it, and you get that really cool effect. Isn't that great? So there you are. You made a beautiful card without any stamps. Isn't that awesome? If you have any questions, just go over to my blog, CindyLeeBDesigns.com. You can always call me at 724-323-2296 or text me. Maybe you made a card like this. I always like getting those happy texts and with that say image because I know a card's coming. So if you need anything, you can always shop at my online store. You can also do that 24/7 from my blog. Subscribe to my blog so that you get notified. You get into your email. Monday, Wednesday, Friday is when I like to blog post, and Wednesday is usually my video. So if you subscribe to the YouTube channel, you'll be notified when my video goes live on Wednesdays. Thanks for buzzing by, friends.